Hello, kindred spirits. Welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin, and today we are going to be looking into the tricks and treats on their way in for you this spooky season. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so welcome back my beautiful kindred spirits and anyone new who may be joining us here on the channel today for this spooky pick-a-card reading. If you are new, I do pick-a-card readings on here. I have a whole master guide on charm casting, and I also have a in-depth tour on my grimoire if you're curious to look into that kind of stuff. Do feel free to subscribe if you'd like to, as I put out new readings and videos every Monday. But today, like I said, we're going to be looking into your tricks and your treats. We're going to be playing around with the Trick or Treat Tarot today, and it's going to be very spooky, very playful, very fun. So do feel free to put your intuition on to get cozy here. And if you'd like to support the channel, do feel free to check out the ways in which you can down below for the Kindred tip jar, but also for the Samhain spell and ritual papers that I have out right now to enhance your magical rituals, to connect deeper with your guides and loved ones beyond the veil, and to bring in a bit more protection this time of year. So do feel free to check those out down below if you'd like to. But we're going to go ahead and look at the piles here. So because this is a trick or treat tarot, I had to get a little bit of some treats out for you each. So for pile number 1 here, we have the Snicker bar, as well as a crystal to go along with it. So here is the Snickers alongside a little piece of dyed aura quartz in pink. So if you're feeling these, then this might be pile number 1 for you. Here for pile number 2, we have this Airheads in the flavor of grape and all of this purple. And the crystal here is this lime green crystal in clear quartz as an aura quartz. So this is pile number 2. And then here for pile number 3, we have this Tootsie roll alongside the crystal of obviously clear quartz and aura, but it is a dyed clear quartz in blue. So this is pile number 3. So as always, before you start heading off to the timestamps, I like to give you an opportunity here to take a deep and cleansing breath here with me so you can connect with your intuition to get in the Halloween spooky mood. And we're going to just go ahead and take that deep breath together here now. So there is no right or wrong way to choose your piles here. You can choose all 3 of the piles, all 3 of the candies here, or you can choose and pick between them. There really is no right or wrong way here. All of the timestamps will be down below in the description alongside the chapter marks of this video. And like I said, if you want to support this space, do be sure to subscribe, and you can also check out those Samhain spell and ritual papers down below. It's a great way to support you and the channel this Halloween season. So with that all said, let's go ahead and look at pile number 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose your treat of Snickers as well as this pink aura dyed quartz, then this is the pile for you, so that we can start looking into all of the goodness that you have coming in for both your tricks and your treats. And we're going to use the charms today and only a couple of different decks, all of which I'll have listed down below in case you're curious. And to just have a little bit of fun today, we also are going to be playing around with the Trick or Treat Tarot, which is just perfect for this reading. And in the guidebook, they actually have an entire reading that we're going to be basing this on, but I wanted to just give a little credit where credit is due. I played around with it last year for your guys' trick or treat reading, and I thought, why not do it again this year? So we are going to be looking into not only your trick and your treat, but we're also going to look into sort of the costume that you are currently embodying. So like the energy or mindset that you're currently embodying right now, which we're going to call your costume, because most of the characters within this deck have costumes on, so we're going to kind of take from those and see what comes through. And then we're also going to be pulling both charms and some oracle cards to look into, if you went trick-or-treating, what is at the bottom of your candy bowl, the bottom of your bag of candy? What is hiding out down there? So it could be more tricks, could be more treats, could be some sort of mixture. We're going to just see. It's the mysterious card. But let's go ahead and start getting right into it. Feel free to get yourself cozy and spooky up in here, and let's play around. So first up, group 1, What is the costume that you are wearing, the energy that or mindset that you're embodying right now? Group 1. The costume, energy, and mindset that you are currently embodying. Group 1. What do we got here? Let's look. Okay, so you have the Queen of Cups, which is a very interesting card when it comes to the costume, because we have like this fairy godmother looking kind of person here, and then a little bit of a creepy doll in the bottom corner. So they definitely are going for the theatrics here. They're going for the spooky energy for sure. It's kind of giving me this feeling of like, obviously like a zombie, either a zombie bride or some sort of like zombie fairy godmother or something like that. So it's making me feel like I really want to see how this corresponds to your trick card, especially since they have sort of like this spooky trickster energy. And what I like about this too is it's making me think that like sometimes we have to be our own fairy godmothers, right? Sometimes we can't have someone come and save the day, unfortunately, because we don't have the resources or we don't have the support system that we're hoping for. So we don't get like everything that we're wanting or everything that we could wish for. But it is giving me this feeling that you're more self-reliant and capable than you might be thinking in this moment. You have the resources, or you have the opportunity to find what you need right now without looking for other people to bring that in or other sources of support. That isn't to say don't ask for support. It's just saying that you might be embodying this feeling of like independence or doing something on your own, or some sort of balance between like looking for support but also finding support in yourself is kind of what I'm getting here from this Queen of Cups. But because this is your like main sort of card that we have going on here, I want to look into the guidebook and give you guys a little bit more. So here we are. We have the Queen of Cups here on her throne, and it says here, oh, and I'll go ahead and hold it up in case you want to read it yourself, but it does say here, the Queen of Cups. We've all dreamed of a fairy godmother. So it was a fairy godmother. Would you like a zombie fairy godmother? What would her gifts and blessings be like? One can only imagine. Hopefully she'll stay on her throne so you can avoid her eye. I have the impression you don't really want to be the focus of her attention. When this card comes up, it represents a dreamy creature. They appear more focused on their personal experience than the outside world. Relationships are vitally important to them. They aren't all light and love. Watch out for bouts of being overly sensitive, needy, moody, or even emotionally manipulative. Most often, though, they return to kindness for kindness, so if you want their support, do them a good turn. In fact, they can be incredibly generous for their time and support. They are very intuitive and will know if they are being played. Don't let their absent-mindedness fool you. They are more perceptive than they let on. The keywords are helper, introverted, intuitive, psychic, kind, sensitive, and reciprocity. But you also might find the reversed feelings with needy, codependent, smothering others, controlled by emotions. So that is what we got going on with the Queen of Cups. So you might be feeling more of the guidebook or what I was intuitively feeling. But I do like that they talked about support and the idea of like reciprocity when it comes to support, you know. They'll do you a good turn if you do them a good turn. So it can also be that you're kind of in this mindset too, that you're like, I can help you, but I'm not going to give away all of my time and energy for no reason or for just anyone, right? So there is this feeling that like you're kind of being more deliberate and decisive when it comes to who you let into your circle of support and who you support. So I do get that feeling too with the Queen of Cups. But with that said, let's go ahead and start looking into, you guessed it, your tricks and treats. So for this one, we're going to look into both right off the bat. So we're going to look into your tricks here first. So do feel free to send your energy in. Group 1. What trick is on its way in for you? And so much like any sort of thing, right? Sometimes tricks are fun. Sometimes tricks are for kids. Sometimes tricks are fun, and then sometimes the treats actually turn out to be like your least favorite flavor, or they're too bitter or too sweet. So this could go kind of either way. You might find that this card, the treat card, is more of your trick, or vice versa. We're gonna see. But let's pull also your treat card. So what treat is on its way in for group 2? Or sorry, group 1. Second card, group 1. Let's go ahead and first reveal your trick. Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. Totally makes sense with what I was just talking about with the reciprocity kind of idea, the teamwork, working together kind of feeling. So we have the Three of Pentacles as your trick, and your treat is the Eight of Cups. So you definitely have a whole story showing up here, here with the Eight of Cups and everything. So when I'm looking at this, what I'm looking at is you are currently in the mindset or moving into the mindset of kind of learning when to give your energy to others and when to kind of keep your energy to yourself, or when to ask for support, as well as find a way to kind of give back that support, right? That feeling of back and forth. But it does feel like a trick that it's on its way in is sort of a partnership or group kind of feeling. Like, you know, when you were a kid and you got stuck in a group with 3 people or something, and you're the one who ends up doing kind of the whole project. That's the energy that I'm getting from this card. This feeling that, like, not everyone is putting in equal effort or equal support. So you might give like your whole weekend to help someone, and they won't even come over to help you for an hour for one small little thing, right? So there's this feeling like of possibly resentment building, or, you know, some frustration and even anger towards some people in your life who maybe aren't giving the same amount of support or care back that you are giving. There's some sort of expectation there, or a feeling of like not being on the same page. So that's really what I'm getting here with the trick. But where we're moving towards the treat is this more empowering feeling, where we're moving into, or you're moving into, an energy of not wanting the smallest pumpkin anymore. You want the biggest pumpkin. You want the biggest people who can support you in your life. You're looking for people who can actually support you in the same way that you can support them. You're looking for the biggest pumpkin, you know, you're not going to settle for less anymore. And so that's what I'm really getting here with this Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups, they could have taken all of these little pumpkins. They could have gone and, you know, been settled and been happy with just that one little one. But no, they're pointing towards the one that they want. They're going after what is really going to fulfill them, and they're not going to settle for less. And so that's what your treat is that's on its way in. There's definitely an energy of a trick maybe coming in, of someone not really participating or helping out the group near as much. The teamwork, the team player is not there, but we do have that you're looking for someone, or you're looking for the support that you actually deserve and the people that actually should be there for you. So this could be friendships in your life, this could be family members, this could be one small little thing, or something much, much larger. It's kind of up to you. But that's kind of the themes that we have going on here with each of your cards. But like I said, we're going to look into the mystery at the bottom of your candy bowl, at the bottom of your candy bag. What is hiding out down there? That's what we're going to see for this last card. And we're going to pull some charms as well. So group 1, what is hiding out at the bottom of your candy bag? Group 1. Ooh, boundaries. Yes, I love this card. This is perfect with everything that you're saying. You're kind of putting it out there and you're not settling for less, right? You're putting down this boundary and you're making it known. Oh my gosh, I love this card so much for you. It's almost like a spell that you're putting on other people and showcasing, you know, your own power. Your pile has so much empowerment. It has so much of like moving into a place where you aren't, like I said, settling. You're empowering yourself. You're realizing how capable you are. You're realizing that you don't necessarily need others, but that if you are going to need others, that you're not going to stick around with people who don't really, you know, meet your energy or meet you where you're at. So that's what I'm seeing here with the boundaries too. And it feels like, you know, people who have been crossing your boundaries or have been, you know, zipping, just, you know, knowing that you'll be like, okay, you're my fairy godmother, do this, without asking, or rather giving anything back. This boundary is like you're saying, you're putting that line in the sand and you're telling them, you will not settle for that treatment anymore. So I am loving this. Hats off to you all. Very exciting. That being said though, I do want to put the charms specifically on your boundary card to see what else, like little bits of candy are at the bottom. But I also, if anything falls anywhere else, will read those as well. But do feel free to send your energy in as always. as always. Sorry, I had something in my throat there, but we are going to go ahead and pull you some charms. So let's go ahead and mix these up. Group 1. Oh my goodness, one just rolled right off the table. So we're gonna drop that one on there and see where it lands. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in so you can see a little bit more of them closer up. Okay, so definitely threw them everywhere. So we're gonna start here with boundaries. We have the star here. We have a little silver star, and it has a little hole through it, which is making me think again that you're not, like, it's not that you can't do things on your own, but there is this feeling too that, like, the reason why you need these boundaries is just to make sure that you're not being snubbed or other people aren't taking advantage of you. But there is this feeling too that there might be people that you are still looking for support, right? There is something that you're still hoping to get something back. So that's what I'm really getting from this charm, is this feeling that, like, you're not entirely whole without a little bit of that support. Whole is in, like, you don't have all of the things that you're looking for. We have this rhino here, which is making me definitely feel that boundaries, right? Like, they're charging in. You will take nothing less. We have the budding charm. That's the one that flew off the table, and it's like these tiny little buds. So it makes me think of, like, this is something that you're currently working on, or something that is just beginning to emerge for you. This feeling of taking on some of these new boundaries and kind of putting the line in the sand and making it known. And there also is, like, there could be very unique boundaries, or boundaries that are very unique to you, or they are to protect your own uniqueness. They are to protect you from people kind of raining on your parade or trying to stomp out your originality, you know, your personal perspective and who you are and how you see the world and your beliefs and things like that. And that's what I'm really getting here with the unicorn, is that you want to be able to put these boundaries out there as well, because you want to protect those things, and that's important. What I find also funny is you actually got the little pumpkin charm, which, if you've ever watched Cinderella, the fairy godmother is the one who took a pumpkin and made it into the like little carriage that she would ride in. So of course you got, like, a fairy godmother energy showing up here on this charm, or on this card, all about that teamwork and someone maybe taking advantage of your gifts, right? Where you're getting, like, this tiny little pumpkin, and they're taking the massive pumpkin to make it into the carriage. So it really does feel, you know, connected to that. And the fact that we also got, like, the quarter showing up here too, is it's making me think that this either happened, like, in terms of timing, like within a quarter of the year or something like that, within the first, second, third, or fourth quarter. But because we only got one here, it really feels like the first quarter of the year. Or it's related to possibly a situation in which you're kind of quite chained down to, right? So this could be family members. These aren't people you can just get rid of, which is why boundaries are so important, because it's not that we want to get rid of these people, or just, you know, a friend you've only known for a month and it's very easy to let them go. There's definitely a link, there's a chain there. So it's not that it's that you want to get rid of these people or let them go, but rather that you just want to be able to make it known and kind of stand more in your power again. There also is this feeling too of just feeling related to possibly, like, career as well, because of the golden chains. So that might also give you some more hints. You also might be being snubbed out of, like, a quarter of the profits or the money or something else too, that's coming in here with the quarter. And then when we get to the Queen of Cups here, you have a couple of different charms. This one actually, like, got caught on my finger and it kept, like, trying to come out. And this is the commitments charm, which totally makes sense, because the Queen of Cups is a lot of the time seen as, like, the archetype of, like, the mom or the parent who is, like, literally strung out to nothing, trying to provide for other people. And so again, this could also be in a situation where, yes, you can put out these boundaries, but it is a little bit complicated, right? Sometimes we have, you know, little ones who don't understand our boundaries, or it will never be equal because, when you're a parent or you're a guardian, that's kind of what you signed up for kind of feeling. So it could be something like that too, because we do have the dad or parent charm showing up here because my dad actually put this charm in the collection for me as a representation of him. So you might be seeing fatherly energy or a parent of some sort. Otherwise, this can represent something that feels like a rock, something very heavy in your life. So that feeling too. But the fact that it's kind of crossing over to the Eight of Cups is telling me that you're like kind of definitely moving away from being kind of stuck and chained back in this and sort of breaking those chains and moving towards more of this Eight of Cups treat energy. As for the bolt here, and then again the ring, this also can represent again like responsibilities in your life to other people who kind of keep you quite bolted down or kind of stuck in that situation. So it could be quite complicated, but regardless, it seems like you're finally making a little bit of a leeway on this and finding a little bit more power to put in your pocket this season. So those are all of the cards and the charms here for you, Group 1. I do hope that you enjoyed this with the trick-or-treat theme and all of the spookiness. I do wish you the best for your Halloween, your Samhain, your spooky season, and as we get closer to the veil lifting. I do hope you enjoyed though. If you did, do be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated and how you had fun with this spooky sort of theme. And also, if you are going trick-or-treating, do let me know what you are planning to wear or your theme. I love that kind of stuff. Also, if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe as I put out new readings every single Monday. And you can support the channel also by checking out the other videos on my channel, liking the videos, commenting, all of that. But also you can check out the Samhain spell and ritual paper that I have out right now for your magical spells and rituals to do a little bit of eco art magic. So that is everything that I have here for you all today. And I am wishing you the best for your spooky season. Bye. Hello Group 2, if you've decided to choose this grape version of Airheads as well as the green crystal, then this is the pile for you to look into your tricks or treats on their way in. So we're gonna get spooky up in here looking into those using the charms as well as a couple different oracle decks and the trick or treat tarot, which is perfect for this, all of which I'll have listed down below in the description in case you're curious of what we have here today. But as we are using the Trick or Treat Tarot, we are going to be using one of the spreads in here, the Trick or Treat spread. So I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out there so that there's a bit of credit for the spread that we are going to be using, which I used last year for this reading and had a lot of fun with it. So we're gonna get right into it. So do feel free to get yourself cozy, get in a spooky mindset if you want, throw on some spooky music, whoever and whatever you need for this, go ahead and grab it. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So do feel free to send your energy in and let's look into your trick or treats. So to begin, I'll go ahead and explain what we're going to do here. So we're going to pull you not only your tricks and treats, but we're also going to pull a card on what you are currently embodying, the energy that you are embodying this sort of Halloween spooky season, and how that correlates to like the costume that you're wearing. So this is sort of what you'll see on the cards. A lot of the people and cards in here have different people wearing different costumes, so we're going to kind of interpret that costume and how that kind of showcases what you are embodying. So let's go ahead and get right into it, and then I'll explain the mysterious card at the end. So Group 2 here, what costume are you wearing? What energy or the mindset are you embodying this spooky season? Ooh, we've got the Eight of Wands showing up here, so we don't actually have a costume showing up on this card. Rather, we have the full moon in full display, a full harvest moon as well, and then all these little spooky bats flying around with these wands in their claws, in their clutch. So what I'm getting here already, right off the bat, is this feeling of feeling very full, feeling very fulfilled, feeling very successful. Kind of got even like this mischievous vibe of grabbing all of these wands and like like heading off with them. So there is this feeling of feeling kind of free, powerful, playful, and humorous energy that I'm getting here from the Eight of Wands, but also this feeling, like I said, of feeling very full, feeling very fulfilled, and maybe feeling just very quite powerful as well. The Eight of Wands showcases having a lot of power behind the energy that you're putting out. So right now I feel like your mindset is feeling like you can do anything, or you believe that you can get anything accomplished, that anything is possible at this time, is really what I'm getting here with the Eight of Wands. And if you're not feeling that right now, then you might be feeling that as we move through the tricks and treats that are coming in. But because we are playing around with this trick or treat tarot, why not read specifically just on this card a little bit from the companion book here. Oh great, I flipped right to it. So here we are with the Eight of Wands in case you want to read on your own, but we are going to go ahead and read right through it. So here we are, the Eight of Wands. What an amazing visual gift to see bats in the moonlight on Halloween. A full moon on this festive night is rare enough once in every 19 years, but it's even more rare to see bats carrying little twigs. Are they little bat-sized magic wands? We may never know. We can be sure, though, that the bats will get them where they need to be, and quickly, too. When this card comes up, the situation is moving ahead very quickly and with machine-like precision. Events have been set into motion with everything heading in a predetermined direction. If left undisturbed, everything will flow smoothly to the inevitable conclusion, for good or ill. If you like the direction, or if you like that outcome, all you must do is stay out of the way and keep others from interfering. Any meddling could cause chaos. If you aren't on board for the potential result, it wouldn't take much to mess up the trajectory. With things moving that fast, small actions have large impacts. The key words for this are events in motion, speed, travel, messages, communication, and flow, and then in reversed, chaos, confusion, delay, frustration, swimming against the current. So I definitely love how they reference like these little bat-sized magic wands, or are they really just twigs? And then the idea too that things are just moving very quickly with like this feeling of moving very fast and having a lot of energy behind you. So it also is this feeling too that like, you know, when you're running somewhere and you don't know that someone's right around the corner and then all of a sudden you run into them, that's kind of the energy that the Eight of Wands is giving. So even though you have all of this wind behind your sails, it doesn't mean that you don't have, that you have, you know, the focus and the bandwidth to see any mishaps or things that might be right around the corner kind of trying to mess you up, which is why we're going to look at the tricks on their way in as well as the treats. So for this, we are going to see the tricks and treats, obviously, but because a trick can sometimes be funny, they can be like little jokes that kids would say to get their treat, or treats themselves can be bitter and not sweet and kind of not your favorite kind of candy, right? This could go one of both ways, right? You might find that the treat card is more of your trick. You might find that the trick is more of your treat. It can go either way, but we're gonna just see what comes in more traditionally here first. So group 2, what do you got coming in for your tricks and treats? So first, your trick. Here we are. And then also your treat, which I think was right next to it, to be honest. So let's go ahead and have a little look-see here, and we'll pull it over. So first off, your trick is the King of Pentacles, and your treat here is Strength. Ooh, interesting how we have these coming in, because they have very different energies, but what I like about them is they're kind of set up in a way where we have two sort of creatures sort of standing or sitting, or rather sitting in the same direction, looking the same way, kind of sitting in the same silhouetted, so they feel very connected. So where we have sort of your trick coming in with the King of Pentacles is feeling like you have all of this energy and you have all of this, you know, this precision and just heading towards something, and a lot of wind behind your sails, where you can see like this is like Red Riding Hood here with the sort of wolf in the grandmother story. This is making me think that this wolf thinks they have it all figured out, that they're not going to get caught, that they're good to go. But the thing is, it's like they're still under the spotlight. They're still being seen. It's very obvious that they are there. So it's making me think that there's a situation right now where you might be feeling like you have it all figured out. You've got it all. You're ready to go. You're going to get it. Anything is possible. And yes, anything is possible. But there might be a misstep or something that you didn't realize right behind you that could kind of get you sort of derailed or, caught in the act of something. This isn't to say that you're like stealing or doing anything nefarious, but it is this feeling too that you just might be missing a step, or there might be something that you think you had it all figured out and planned out, but there's something that you might need to still check and double check something, right? Double check your measurements, double check your planning, double check the people around you and the energy that they're bringing out. If you've been talking to someone and you think everything is going perfectly, is it a little bit too perfect? There might be something you need to kind of double check or make sure that there isn't something behind that. Whereas strength is giving me this feeling where we have someone, where we have that light behind them. This time you actually have someone behind you. So this is making me think that the treat that's on its way in is rather having someone giving you a little bit of strength. So if everything goes right and everything goes well and you don't have this mishap happen, the treat that might be on its way in is just finding support, care, love, or a bit of kindness from someone giving you a bit of strength, giving you a pep talk, giving you the resources you need, giving you the time or support or care that you need, and having them be right behind you to kind of pep you up and keep you going. That's really what I'm getting here with this sort of Beauty and the Beast situation of strength and this feeling of being seen even in your most vulnerable places and sides, and being able to be seen wholly and fully versus with different pieces of you and sort of being kind of sneaky like this King of Pentacles is giving. So take what you will from that. Basically at the heart of it all is your treat is your trick here is just showcasing a little bit of like a misstep or something you need to double check that might derail all of the progress that you have kind of moving you forward towards a goal. Whereas strength is showing you that if everything goes right and this mishap doesn't happen and that you kind of avoid it, you might find that the treat on the other end of it is just a little bit of rest or kindness or care from someone or yourself, and finding a bit of strength to muster through something, or to even have as a reward at the end of it all. So that's what we're really getting here. But because I want to do the whole spread, the final part of the spread is to look into something that's at the very bottom of the bag of candy, right, that you kind of missed, or this like mysterious little piece of candy, and we're gonna see what that is. It could be a trick, it could be a treat, it could be something else entirely. We're just gonna play. So group, ooh, they're flying around. Group 2 here. What do you got coming in at the bottom of the bag? Group 2. I think it might be this top card actually. And we're going to see what that is. So you got inspiration here, which totally makes sense. The 8 of Wands is a very inspired card. It's very progressive. It's very inspiring. It's very like go, 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 go kind of energy. And inspiration is what kind of fuels our passion and fuels us to move forward. So this is sort of a fuel that is growing within you from the inside out, right? This is inspiration that's going to find its way there. So where you're kind of maybe feeling like you're having to scrounge from the bottom of the barrel to find something, to find that inspiration, I think you will be finding it very soon, especially since the colors and everything really are correlating to this this 8 of Wands card. But because it is related to this card, it's also making me think that to find the inspiration at the bottom of the barrel, right, to find the inspiration that you're looking for means that maybe you have to get outside of your box. Maybe you have to do something a little bit differently, that you have to fly up to the moon and, do something very different and outside of the box for you. So I'm thinking that you're going to be finding inspiration in places that you don't normally, by getting outside of your comfort zone, by looking, both inward, right, but also there's a little spark coming from the outside in, making its way in. So I also am thinking that you need to like maybe go to a coffee shop you've never been to, or to go to an art show, to go to a concert, to, you know, just to get out of where you normally would be and to find that inspiration elsewhere, maybe in a different community, maybe somewhere online, maybe through a skill or a class, who knows, but it is very mysterious. So we're going to pull some charms here to see some more details. So let's go ahead and pull you those charms. So feel free to send your energy in, and let's mix these up, group 2. Okay, we've got a lot of charms showing up here. And by launching, I literally mean some launch themselves at me. So I'm going to see what those all are. We might not hit on every single charm here, but I'm going to just see the essence of some of them. So looking here first, when we come to our inspiration, we do have the jumping off point. This is the one that like really hit me in the arm, which I thought was interesting too, with the idea that it was like connected to your arm and the way that you're extending yourself. So you might have to find yourself springing yourself forward, getting outside of your comfort zone, uncoiling yourself from, you know, the traditional places that you go to, or for the traditional inspiring places that you go to. And there might be something new on the horizon there. We also have the feather, which makes me think too, like getting the wind behind your sails, that wind energy. So maybe going to a place that's very much outside, that has a lot of wind, or that there's a lot of conversation happening as well, is maybe where you're going to get your inspiration, is maybe going to a group, going to a class, a very social setting. And like I said, this can be even online as well, online like discords or communities. We have the number 6, which represents harmony, and then we have the bottle tab charm, which represents like inspiration that's like been bottling up and is about to like burst, like you would when you open a can of pop or something, or a carbonated drink, and it's going to give you more harmony than you think, right? Like sometimes we need a little bit of that explosion. We have the busy bee charm. We have the little wiener dog here, or the little sausage dog, however you see, and then we have the paperclip as well. So these feel kind of like this feeling of like you've been running around a wheel for a very long time, and you're kind of like losing the inspiration that you were getting from something that's always kind of worked for you. And so maybe that's why you're exploring new places, right? Because we have the temporary charm, the cluster busy charm, and then we have what I think is interesting. We have the miss charm. So this is like in Battleship, if you've ever played Battleship, right? This is like the little miss peg. So it's making me think again that there could be missing information, or something missing that you're not fully seeing here that's related to your inspiration. So it also is making me think that even if you do get derailed by whatever this might be, that it might, by getting the miss, you might find yourself gaining inspiration, if that makes sense. Like sometimes we have to go down the wrong trail to find the thing that we're looking for. So even though, like I said, it could be a trick, it also can be a treat in some ways too. Just you might be going about it in a very different way. We have the penny showing up here at the King of Pentacles, which is making me think of the pentacle that they're holding in their hand. This also can represent good luck when it falls on the whichever side to you is good luck. So we have heads and tails here, so that might be related to you. Then we also have the number 11 and the number 7 showing up here with your little bats. We got 711, 711, 11 being a wish-making number, 7 being a reflection number. Then we also have the tic-tac-toe sort of charm. This goes to like a tic-tac-toe set, but it also makes me think of like the unknown as well, like looking into a big black void or a black hole in a way. And then we have a cycle showing up here. So this is about breaking cycles. That's what this charm is. There could be, again, that void of inspiration and feeling like, yes, anything is possible for you. And I even felt that at the beginning. Like, I felt like some of you were very skeptical when I said that anything was possible. And I really do feel like maybe some of you believe that you're kind of stuck in a cycle because you don't have the inspiration, or you don't have the wind behind your sails just yet. But I do believe it is on the horizon for you, for sure. to break this cycle and to get out of this sort of funk that you have maybe going on here. And then with that, we have a key bridging both of these, keys representing opportunities to strength. And what I think is interesting too is you got like the spirit guide charm or the angel charm showing up here. It's like a little angel sitting here playing a little flute, and it says I love you at the top. So this makes me think too that someone who really loves you, cares about you, whether it's a spirit guide or someone in your actual life, a loved one beyond the veil, that is really standing behind you right now and giving you the opportunities that you need to move you forward, and they're really looking out for you. That's what I'm really getting from this strength card, that like your treat that's on its way in is someone really looking out for you. So you know, look for them in your dreams, look for them in real life, however it might be, and maybe give them a bit of gratitude and care as well back. But those are all of the cards and charms here that I have for you, group 2. If you enjoyed this spooky kind of trick-or-treat reading, then do let me know with giving this video a like and letting me know in the comments down below how it resonated for you. I would love to hear if the numbers connected, if the different cards connected, anything that you'd like to share, I would love to hear. And if you are going trick-or-treating this year, or if you're going to wear a costume or go to a party, I would love to hear what you're going to get up to. I love that kind of stuff. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing, as I put out new videos every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, pick-a-card readings, and other more educational readings such as charm casting, master guides, and I also have a grimoire whole tour, an in-depth tour in case you're curious. You're also welcome to check out the Samhain spell and ritual papers that I have out right now for your own spells and rituals. They're a great way to support yourself this season as well as support your magic, so do feel free to check those all out down below. And I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys there. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Hello group 3, if you've decided to choose this Tootsie Roll as well as this blue crystal, then this is the pile for you to look into your tricks and treats on their way in for you. We're going to be doing that with the charms as well as several different decks here, which I'll have all of this listed in the description down below in case you're curious. But today we're going to be playing around with the Trick or Treat Tarot, which obviously I've been waiting to use it for this reading. We are going to be playing around as well using the guidebook a little bit, and then also there is a spread in here that is just perfect for this. So I wanted to give a little bit of credit for the spread that we're using in the guidebook to look into your costume, your trick, your treat, and your bag of candy. So to look into this, what we're going to be doing, and feel free to get yourself settled, get cozy and everything like that, we are going to be pulling 3 different cards from the deck, from the tarot deck, and then one at the end, as well as some charms as well. But the first card that we're going to be looking into is your sort of mindset right now, the costume that you are wearing in a more general, energetic sense. So what costume are you wearing? What are you embodying right now? What costume are you embodying? What energy are you embodying? What mindset are you embodying right now this Samhain sort of Halloween season? And what's great is these cards actually, most of the characters in here are wearing costumes. So we're going to kind of read into that if possible and see how it relates. So we're going to do that with the costume card. Then we're going to pull your tricks and your treats. And then we're also going to pull a more mysterious card as we get closer to the end with some charms. So do stay tuned for that. But let's look first into your costume, your energetic mindset costume of the season. So group, they are moving about. Group 3, what do you got coming in, group 3, for your costume? The energetic mindset that you are wearing or embodying. Ooh. So we have the King of Wands here for you. I don't really get this card very often, so I'm going to look here with you and explore. But we have this King of Wands character. There's a little rat here, or little creature hanging out with them. They look like they are a vampire or a Dracula kind of energy here. So we're going to look into this, but what I'm just getting right off the bat is this feeling of like, you know what you want, you know what you got kind of energy. They feel like very commanding and very like assured, right? They're in their own throne and everything. There is the spooky nature. They know what they're putting down at this Halloween costume party, and they know they're doing their best job. You know what I mean? They have all of the props. They went to all of the stores just to get the perfect layout. So I really like the effort that they're putting in. There's this feeling of like the mindset that you have is maybe having like this feeling of like you got this kind of feeling, or very much like self-reliant and in a leadership role, or quite commanding in a way. So I want to look into the guidebook for this one specifically. We won't do it for all of the cards, but I just want to look especially for your costume card. So I've not read this, so we're just going to be doing this together. So here it is in case you want to read it yourself. But let's go ahead and read it together. Let's see what the guidebook has to say. So here we are, the King of Wands. What is a Halloween party without Dracula? Boring, dumb, that's what. At least he thinks so. He looks like he's been to a shindig or two and knows that he definitely will be in demand. Yes, people will gather around his throne, but that gets boring, so he'll be circulating all flirty and charming in no time. When this card comes up, it represents someone with authority, who can be charming and can also sometimes be convinced to share their secrets to success. They love showing off and being admired. Above all things, they value action and starting new projects. If you want to gain their support, or your own support, present an exciting, fresh idea that appeals to their sense of adventure. Get them interested, and they'll help make things happen. Details bore the King of Wands, so stick to the highlights and keep things entertaining. Do not embarrass them, or the conversation will be over. Keywords: decision maker, power, experience, action, decisive, authority, and mature. Reversed: easily bored, angered, violence, ego-driven, and hasty. So that is what we've got going on. Like I said, I felt this commanding sort of like leadership role. Like they know what they're doing. They've got it all figured out. I think it's interesting that they talked about like they're kind of bored by the details, even though they clearly do like the details when it comes to themselves. So this is what I'm kind of getting from you, is that you might be in a situation right now where you're feeling kind of like pepped up by yourself. You're feeling very like either pepped up by the energy around you, or you're feeling just in a very like you got this situation. You feel very sort of in your element when it comes to this. So right now you might be just feeling yourself. That's all I got really to say here. You're just really feeling charming and quite charismatic at this time. That being said, it can be a bit of a false, perspective of you, right? It can be a heightened or, a bit of a filtered perspective of you right now, but we do have that showing up. That being said, we're also going to look into your next two cards. Sorry, bumped the table, but your next two cards to look into your tricks and your treats. So for this one, and as always when I do these tricks or treats, you can see it as a negative and positive card, but sometimes they can be a little bit blurry, right? Sometimes we can get a treat from someone, but it's got like macadamia nuts, or it has raisins in it. We don't want that. Or we can sometimes get tricks, right, that actually are really fun and are like party tricks, right? So they can be really fun and entertaining. So it can go both ways. It can be a bit more blurred here. You can play around with it. You might find that this is more good, this is more bad, but traditionally this would be the trick and the treat card. So we're going to go ahead and see what that is for you. So we're going to look first into your trick. So let's see. And then we're going to pull the treat. Group 3. What treat is on its way in for you? Group 3. The treat on its way in for you. Ooh. So we've got the 9 of Pentacles showing up here for your treat, which is perfect. I love this card. The 9 of Pentacles is all about abundance and having it all figured out. It's definitely got sort of the same kind of energy that we've got going on with the King of Wands. They feel very much in their element. But what I find interesting, and I'll look at this one here in a second, what I find interesting is we went from sort of this false confidence that I was getting here, or false bravado, and sometimes a bit of an arrogant or like playing it a little too hard with the King of Wands energy. And then we're moving into this Nine of Pentacles, which feels more earned. It feels more like you're truly in your element because you feel like you truly are meant to be there, or you truly are meant to be at the table or in the room, or there's this feeling of like moving away from a falseness and a more pure confidence energy that I'm getting here from the Nine of Pentacles. So it almost feels like you're moving into like a level up or a move up when it comes from these two cards for the treat that's on its way in for you. But then when we look at your trick, we have the Six of Cups here. The Six of Cups is all about reciprocity and sort of sharing and getting equal things back. And then the Six of Cups also kind of gives sort of another energy too, where you're kind of sort of sharing information. Okay, so the Six of Cups is an interesting one when it comes to this deck, because we've got the Joker here, which kind of throws off the typical energy of like sharing ideas or sharing being kind of vulnerable with each other, sharing emotion and sort of connection and kindness, like kind gestures and things like that. But then we have like the Joker here, which kind of throws it off. So I'm getting this feeling for the trick for you that it might be more traditionally like in that way, where instead of it being about getting kindness from others, it can be that like this kind of came up in group 1 as well, where there's this feeling of like an unequal playing field here, or unequal effort. This kind of gives me like the sibling feeling of like, when a sibling sort of beats you to the last piece of cake, and so they give you just like a little bit of a crumb. It's making me feel like you're getting the crumbs right now out of the situation, and that they're gaining the majority of something, that they're not being entirely truthful, where they're like, here, you can have the big cupcake, but then they get all of the other cupcakes on the ground, which actually just end up equaling more than the big cupcake. So it just feels like there's an illusion here that's happening. So the King of Wands already had that illusion energy of feeling like you weren't really showing your full self, or putting on sort of a false mask or bravado. And the Six of Cups, if you continue down that, I feel like people are going to see through that, or you're going to be giving them this false perception of yourself, and where it just doesn't feel authentic. So it really feels like connected. Sometimes these cards don't feel connected, but yours really do. And that I feel like either you're about to get tricked by someone who's not giving their full self, or putting on a false sort of perspective here to gain something out of you, right? Someone trying to trick something out of you or manipulate the situation in some way, or you're manipulating the situation, even if not trying to, by trying to put on this false confidence or this false bravado, then you're not being able to show your authentic self. And I think some people might see through that, or that they're not going to see through that and then feel put off by that or something like that. So that's really what I'm getting here from your tricks and treats at the moment. The Nine of Pentacles just feels really good. Really, it just feels like very authentic, very true to yourself, and it feels much more earned. But I want to look into your unknown card. So this one in the spread is like the piece of candy at the very bottom of the barrel, at the very bottom of the trick-or-treat bag or a little cauldron, whatever it might be, right? Whatever's holding it all. This is the little piece of candy at the very bottom that gets stuck there. So what is that? Is this a good piece of candy? Is it another trick? Whatever it might be, we're gonna find out. So group 3, what do you got coming in for this little piece of candy, this unknown energy on its way in for you? Group 3, it's kind of an opportunity too. So we have love. That's interesting. So the fact that we had love show up here, and it's the piece of candy at the bottom, and the fact that you're kind of like embracing sort of yourself and kind of loving yourself a little bit more, or accepting more pieces of yourself to be able to be more authentic, is making me think that this could be related to you in more like a self-love, self-care, self-acceptance kind of way. But also on the flip side, when it comes to the Six of Cups, is also giving me this feeling too that someone around you might not be being entirely authentic, and there might be someone who's trying to charm you, or to be this charismatic person to sort of gain your affections or to lure you in. So just being very careful of the people who you might be meeting, dating, or feeling charmed by right now, and just maybe giving it a second thought, making sure that you look fully into it, making sure you're not missing certain details or being clouded by what they're trying to give you or putting into your face here. And there might be a little bit more to the picture here, but then also there's that self-love kind of situation that we have showing up here. So I want to see with the charms if we can get some more details here at the end. So do feel free to send your energy in through time and space, and let's see group 3. Ooh, interesting. So you didn't get a lot of charms here. So clearly we've talked a lot about what's already coming through. But what I find interesting right off the bat, the one that I noticed right away, is we have the fake charm. This is a fake piece of coin, right? It's a false piece of like little play money, of a little dime. And of course it would fall over here, showcasing that there's this fake quality. There's something that you're not fully seeing. There's this falseness either coming from you or another person, or maybe both, but this false nature is definitely coming through, and I feel like I just need to keep flipping it. It almost feels like they're flipping, like they could flip on like oh my gosh, like flip on a dime, like where all of a sudden their character could completely shift when they take this mask off. So it's just something to be a little bit aware of right now for you. On top of that too, we have the bear paw charm. This also is a charm that talks about, you know, obviously because it says bear paw at the bottom, it makes me think of like, if it falls this way, it represents not being in hibernation, but this being about being in hibernation. So right now you might be feeling like you're having to hibernate because you don't have the full confidence yet, or something like that too. And this isn't to say that false confidence is a bad thing. When used well, it can be really helpful in gaining confidence and getting, you know, just like trying it all out, but still being authentic to yourself I think is important. Trying not to be entirely a different person is really important. Trying to not entirely erase your entire personality and who you really are, but rather accepting who you are and letting others have the option to at least get to know you for who you truly are first. And then we have this little 10 of Pentacles charm, which I think is interesting that we would get this one. So the 10 of Pentacles has a lot to do with legacy, support, family, care. So you might find that you have like, you're maybe gaining a chosen family through all of this, or, you know, a found family through this situation as well. That I feel like that's maybe a treat that's on its way in, a new like a family member in whatever way that might be, chosen family, friendship, birth family, or otherwise. But I do think there's a lot of love coming from that space. There's a lot of care and sort of support coming through here. So that's really what I'm getting here. We don't really have a lot of charms, to be honest, but maybe it's just because we really hit on all of the pieces of the puzzle that we really needed to. I feel like the charms were like, this is all we needed. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you there, group 3. I do hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you got everything that you were hoping out of it. If you did enjoy this reading, do be sure to give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below how it resonated for you. And if you'd like to, do let me know if you are gonna go out, like what costume you plan to wear this year, or any of the magical little rituals that you might get up to. I would love to hear. That stuff is so interesting to me. And also, if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe, as I put out new videos every single Monday for love, career, spirituality, to look into more of your magic. And even I have a whole walkthrough on my grimoire if you want to look into the in-depth of the magic that I get up to. And you can also look into more on charm casting to see a full in-depth deep guide on charm casting and how that all works, if you want to look into that. And also, if you want to support the channel even further and support yourself in your magical rituals and spells this season, then definitely check out the Samhain spell and ritual paper that I have out right now. I put a lot of love and care into it so that you can, you know, really heighten your magic this season, and you can use it for automatic writing to look into messages from your guides, to write letters to loved ones beyond the veil, and to also just use it in your art magic. So you can check those out down below if you're curious. And yeah, that is everything. I'm wishing you the best for the rest of your spooky season, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.